good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together, and to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.
Racing on Wednesday takes place out at Hollywoodbets Greyville, racing on the poly track. 8 races on the program, and race number 1 gets underway at 12:40 over the 1,000 meter trip. It is a conditional maiden that will get the day started, and we've got 2 scratch-ins here, numbers 1 and 6. Those are the scratch-ins. That is Le Chant and number 6 Smashing. So those are out, and it's a field of 7 runners that remain. Number 9 World Pharaoh is your 15-10 favorite. Isikalaba is at 5-2, Lord Randolph 9-2, and then it's 7-1 and Better Bar those. Now it is a particularly weak maiden that will get the day started, so in terms of the buy pot, I don't think it's a race that you can have a lot of confidence in the horses that top the betting boards here. Number 9 World Pharaoh will start off with this horse. He's got some fairly useful juvenile form to his name. He ran 3rd behind Mbele on debut, and then 5 lengths behind the Specialist. We know what type of horse a Specialist is, and he was terribly unlucky not to win on Whirlpool Gold Cup Day. He ran 4 lengths to Definitely Yes in quite a decent race, I think, and then last time out behind Trippy T, well, he showed a bit of early speed and then just faded out of contention. He's got an awkward draw to deal with on his polytrack debut. He comes into draw number 7 now with 2 scratches inside of him, so may help a bit, but I think in terms of 15-10, when you have a look at his price, he looks to be a lot shorter in the market than I would have thought, and he does have the form to his name, but how confident can you be in his chances? Number 5 is a horse that shows quite a bit of speed out the gates, but 1,000 meters is certainly on the sharp side for him, and I think they're running him over the distance, given that it is a weaker race, and perhaps he could get away with it on the poly track, a surface that could run slightly quicker than the turf track, but let's see how he goes. A horse at around 8-1 in the market now. This is Canatonic. He's had 16 starts in the maidens, but he's got just 51 kgs on the back. Now, when we have a look at this horse's profile, he's a well-tried maiden. Ignore his last start. Fly jumped, slow out the gates. That was in a maiden over 1,200 meters. I think dropping him in trip is the right move from the yard. 5 furlongs is by far his best distance. And 2 starts back, he met 2 winners when beaten 2 lengths behind Brass Bell. 3 starts back over 1,200 meters, he was beaten 5 lengths behind Knockem Stiff. Now, with 51 kgs on the back, over 1,000 meters, in a race that he's going to get quite a bit of speed here, so he'll be able to get a nice toe into the race. I think he could represent some decent value and could be a nice inclusion into leg number 1 of the buy pot. Number 7, To The Stars and Back, a filly that's always been held in high regard from the Mark Dixon yard, but she's a filly that hasn't been able to put her best foot forward. She's been supported on a number of occasions, but she's yet to get it right. She's at around 14-1, the biggest outside in this field, and with 54.5 kgs on the back, well, let's see what she could offer, dropping in distance, and maybe she could prefer the 5 furlongs, but it's hard to have a lot of confidence in her chances. So I'm going to go race 1, each way play on a well-tried maiden, that being a 5-year-old who's almost going to be 6 in the form of number 3, Canatonic. It's not a race that you can be overly confident on anything here, but perhaps at 8-1, I think this horse, Canatonic, could run a nice race with Damien Pillay at just 8-1 and 51 kgs on the back, which could be the huge advantage.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Interbet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.